Hello, salutations, what it do? It's Sadot the Gamer, all father, direct gang, know the vibes like a scribe. Let's get it. Happy Wednesday, Direct Nation. Hope everyone is doing well. We're so close to the holidays. A lot of people are about to go on Christmas vacation. So we're going to rock out, give you some entertainment. I know it's been a crazy week. as, I was, as I've been covering on the channel. Hopefully today we can just chill and have some fun because Suicide Squad is back. We got the episode 2, highly anticipated episode 2 of the Suicide Squad Insider. So hopefully we can just enjoy that, have fun. No more hacks, no leak. Obviously, more leaks actually came out about the Insomniac thing today. We're not talking about that. We're not going to talk about all that. Let's just hopefully have a mostly drama-free day and just enjoy it. How's everyone doing? What's up, Lucky Ray? We got Jav. Appreciate all my members out here. What it do? What it do? What's up, Jard? So we're going to just talk about what to expect, what I'm hoping to see, all that good stuff before it starts. If you miss episode 1 or don't know how this whole works, Rocksteady basically are going to upload a pre-recorded episode of what they call the Suicide Squad Insider, where they talk about different aspects of the game, basically do a deep dive. Last time they, kind of talked about the making of the game, went into some detail about the traversal, some of the combat, and showed, some extended gameplay. And they're going to talk about a different aspect of the game today. From what I heard, from what I was told as well, this one is going to be more about combat, but they're also going to talk about the support characters and everything like that. So that should go live in less than an hour on their YouTube channel, and we'll watch it and react in real time. What's up, Greg? Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you, my friend. First, you're pissed about what's going on with Insomniac? Same. It's horrible situation all around. Is that the same Batman from the Arkham games? Yes, for those that don't know, Suicide Squad is a sequel to Batman Arkham Knight, in that it takes place in the exact same universe and happens 5 years after the events of Arkham Knight and the Nightfall Protocol. Brainiac has invaded the Earth, and he has used mind control to basically take over most of the Justice League and the majority of the world's population. So far, the only member of the Justice League we know that is actively not being brainwashed is Wonder Woman, and she's basically kind of working with the Suicide Squad, who have been assigned by Amanda Waller to basically save the world, deal with Brainiac, but mostly their priority is, of course, as the title of the game suggests, take out the Suicide Squad, because they are obviously a massive threat since they are being controlled. You're trying to become a YouTuber. Any tips? Don't. Don't be a YouTuber. That's your first tip. What's up, Marcelo? Instead of trying to be a YouTuber, be a content creator. the moment you lock down and only think about one platform, you're immediately falling into an immediate trap. The big thing that you need to understand about content creation is that you are trying to be a brand. If you're a YouTuber, if you only think of yourself as a YouTuber, if you're only focused on YouTube, that's fine if you want to primarily make your content on YouTube, but you need to first off think beyond being just a YouTuber, because YouTube does not care about you as an individual whatsoever. So think long and hard about why you want to be a content creator, what kind of content creator you want to be, because that will heavily determine what kind of answer or tips that you should even be taking. Like I don't even know if you're trying to be a full-time YouTuber or a part-time YouTuber, or you're just trying to start up a channel for fun, just for the lulz. Depending on what that motivation is, you're going to get very, very different answers, and you're going to need very different advice. Gotham City is doomed too. That's a pretty good assumption. Can you not say any other spoilers? You must not be familiar with my channel. Welcome to the Sadot the Gamer channel. We don't talk about story spoilers that are leaked. I mean, obviously, chat. There's always the risk of somebody dropping a spoiler or two, but there's nothing you can do about that. But yeah, I have some stuff, I have some moderation in place, but yeah, there. So the thing about the Suicide Squad spoilers, I'll tell you this right off the bat. We have mods here that will deal with people who are trying to spoil the game. What's up, Navaflow? But here's the thing about these Suicide Squad story spoilers. They're mostly fake. I'll get into that in a bit. You'll try and make gaming you're trying to make gaming content. So, but why? Why are you trying to make gaming content? Are you trying to do it as a career, or do you just like games and want to make content? Why? What is the point of you making content? But yes, so the suicide, I feel different. I'm still not gonna go into details about the leaks and stuff that I know about Suicide Squad, for obvious reasons. But I'll tell you that right off the bat, we know for a fact the Insomniac stuff is real because those were hacked. But the Suicide Squad leaks that people are freaking out about are mostly fake. I know this because I have a lot of inside information about the actual Suicide Squad game. I'm friends with Miller. People who are familiar with Marvel's Avengers will know Miller very well. He is currently focusing on Suicide Squad. He has been doing a lot of data mining. And he is basically someone that is very knowledgeable about pretty much all aspects of the game. The only people who know more about Suicide Squad right now than Miller are the people who are working on the actual game. He's done a lot of data mining. He's got sources. he basically knows the entire story of Suicide Squad. He knows their playable characters that are going to be added as DLC. He knows a bunch of stuff about game modes and everything that are going to be added. He knows a ridiculous amount about Suicide Squad, and he's and I was curious, so I asked about some stuff. The only thing I didn't want is too crazy with the story spoilers, but I wanted enough information to satisfy my curiosity about the game and also to kind of understand what's going on. And according to Miller, who again actually knows pretty much everything about the game at this point, most of the leaks are fake. And the parts that are real are taken completely out of context. Basically, somebody got some some audio files, some audio, and they posted it and kind of just extrapolated and ran with it and just added a bunch of fake stuff. That's why WB basically took down all the leaks, because even though most of it is fake, the out of context stuff is real. It's just out of context. So if you think you know how the Suicide Squad story is going to play out based on the leaks, you're completely wrong. I appreciate you. Now, I've actually, Leah, let me add you. Obviously that doesn't excuse the behavior of some of the people who have been, going crazy on social media. Attacking the devs, threatening them because, they don't like the story of the video game that they haven't played yet. But it is worth noting that the people are overreacting and being really toxic about story leaks for Suicide Squad that are in fact fake. Or completely taken out of context. So ultimately you're going to have to play the game to find out, but yeah, if you were spoiled by, seeing the story leaks, do not worry about it. Those aren't real spoilers. You're fine. You're going to, if you're still interested in playing the game and were disappointed because you think you got spoiled, you did not get spoiled. They are fake. Feel free to rest easy and go into Suicide Squad if that's what you were hoping to do, with the knowledge that you have not been spoiled. Now, obviously the Insomniac situation is a different story, but who knows what the Wolverine story is going to be by the time that game finally comes out, because they're going to have to do a lot of reworking. But the Suicide Squad stuff, fake. Arkham fans might be worse than Spider-Man fans. You might be right. It's tough, bro. There's so many bad fandoms. There's like a race. There's like a heavy competition right now going on social media for just the absolute worst fandoms. It is true. Like, the Arkham fans are definitely pretty bad right now. But it's like they're all kind of the same level of bad to some degree. Like, Arkham fans are like, we're kind of like flying under the radar because they haven't had really a reason to act up. So it's tough though. I feel like Spider-Man. I feel like no. You know what? I'm going to just straight up say Spider-Man fans are worse, and I'll tell you why. Like Arkham fans have been mostly consistent. Obviously, they fall into the same traps as every other fandom on social media by being toxic when they don't get their way. But Arkham fans were pretty consistent. They like good Batman games. They want good Batman games. They appreciated what Rocksteady did, and they were upset because they thought Rocksteady was, pulling a live service fast one and selling out, which is fair because the optics were definitely not great. We've seen it across the industry. Single player studio forced to make a live service cash grab by the executives. I mean, we literally saw this play out with Redfall. Instead of having Arcane work on, what they're known for, because because they had a new ownership group come in, they were like, you know what? You know what's making money these days? Live service. Do one of those. That's how you got Slotfall. But that didn't end up being the case with Suicide Squad because, as people who have been paying attention know, it's not your typical live service slop. This seems to legitimately be a game that Rocksteady actually cares about and are putting like actual effort into making. You may not like the vision, but that's their vision, and it seems like they're committed to making it, to seeing it through. And it's fine if you don't like it, but every game doesn't have to be for you. So I do understand, gamers don't like change. It could be, you could feel bad about not getting another single player Batman game or whatever. But this is the game they decided to make. This is the game coming out. Now James Gunn did come out and say this won't be the last Arkhamverse game. So, you still have that. It's not like they're done. But it's like you may have to wait a little bit. Deeper depths in the building. What it do, my friend? Everyone has a gun instead of using powers connected to the characters, and that's another problem. That's just simply not true. Like Suicide Squad is not just battling, people who are just like, you know what, it's not for me. I just don't like the type of game. They're just actively battling misinformation, which is an unfortunate part of the internet. Yes, the characters are going to be using guns. It's a third-person shooter. But every single member of the Suicide Squad on the current roster has used guns before. With the exception being, King Shark. But they all specifically have special powers and abilities. Like it's not just a shooter. They have weapons uniquely tied to them. And that's the crazy thing. They've shown this. They've had like Harley, for example. Harley uses guns. Everyone who's familiar with the character knows that Harley Quinn uses guns. It would not make sense for Harley to be in a game where they're fighting aliens and the Justice League and she doesn't have guns. She uses guns all the time. But her signature weapon is the baseball bat, which she has and she uses. Captain Boomerang has used guns before. His main weapon is a boomerang. And guess what? In Suicide Squad, his main weapon is also boomerang. Like, if you see his abilities, his melee attacks are all with the boomerang. His special abilities are based around a combination of the boomerang and the tech that he stole from Sylvana when they went to the Justice League Museum, which grants him Speed Force powers. King Shark uses a gun, but he also has all the abilities of King Shark, being a demigod. So he's got super jumping. He can leap across the city like the Hulk should have in Marvel's Avengers. He literally bites people in half. Like, he's super strong. So he has abilities where he leaps down and smashes everyone and causes AoE damage. He's got signature melee weapons. You know, each character has stuff unique to them. They have guns that they can use, but they also have melee weapons unique to them. They've shown that. And they have special abilities and traversal, either unique to them or tied to the lore of the game, which is that they raided the Justice League Watchtower and stole some tech. They also, the other narrative against Suicide Squad that I see all the time is that, well, it's a live service, it's full of microtransactions, and that's simply, again, not true. You know, that just comes from people who heard something about the game, which is that it's live service, and then instead of doing any research, they were like, oh, well, it's live service. I know what that, in their mind, they know what live service means. So they think of loot boxes and all this other stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with Suicide Squad. But they let that be the narrative, and it's just not true. Suicide Squad, I'm actually concerned about Suicide Squad's live service elements because I'm not seeing how they're going to be able to make money long term unless they have a lot of players. Because pretty much everything is free. They're giving away everything. They have all this stuff coming, and it's just like all free. The only thing they're giving, the only thing you're paying for is the base game and the premium tier on the Battle Pass. Even the Battle Pass isn't completely paid. They have a free tier and a premium tier. And even if you get the deluxe edition, you get a token, so you don't even have to pay for that premium tier. So I was like, but even if you don't want to get any of the premium skins, you can just earn stuff on the free tier. And if you want to spend a couple of dollars because you see the premium skins and you like some of them, you can just pay a couple of dollars and then just play the game and unlock it, all the stuff on there, by just playing the game. Everything else is free. They have and Miller showed me a ton of stuff. They have a ridiculous amount of stuff coming for this game content wise, and it's all free. So this narrative that it's just full of microtransactions and they're trying to milk the player is completely nonsense and made up. It's all like, there's literally nothing to argue. That's why I think people are just trying so hard to be mad about this fake story, these fake story spoilers, because they see public opinion turning around about the game, and they're determined to just be mad. So they're like, well, we got to find something to be mad about. Let's pretend to be upset about the idea that a game called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League might end with the Justice League not being alive. Like, come on, it's all fake outrage. You just gotta be honest. They just mad Rocksteady not making. That's literally what it is. That's the heart of pretty much most of this. They wanted a single player, story driven Batman game, and they're mad that they're not getting it. That's the heart of most of this. They wanted a specific game, they didn't get it, and they're mad. Gameplay wise, it's fine. Melee looks bad. Melee looks like a single button press, either knock an enemy in the air, or gunplay, break shield, or a takedown. And fair criticism, but again, I would say we know very little. The only parts of the game that we know are what they've shown and what they allowed people to play during the closed alpha. We don't have access to the full game. We don't have access to all the abilities. Like, imagine if you judge the combat in Spider-Man PS4 solely based on all the abilities that you had during at the beginning of the Kingpin encounter. Or even better, like look at Marvel's Avengers. You had that, which is in the same genre, live service looter. People swore, I promise you, people swore in Marvel's Avengers that the Incredible Hulk was terrible. They was like, the Hulk is so bad, he's weak. Why did they do this? He doesn't do any damage. He's bad. They ruined the Hulk. He sucks. Why isn't he strong? He does no damage. Now, if you've seen me use the Hulk, or if you've seen someone like Lejeune use the Hulk in that game, you know that's a just ridiculous statement. Like, we're walking through bosses, everybody, unstoppable, one-shotting everything. But listen to these players, especially early in the game when it first came out, and they swore he was the worst character in the game. He was weak, and that's because they didn't unlock any of the abilities. They didn't understand the gear system. So they were just walking around with like no understanding of the perks, terrible gear, under-leveled, no idea how to play, and they're just judging the entire game and the combat based on that. It's like, yeah, if you suck at the game, yeah, the combat might suck to you. But unless you actually know what you're doing, you can't really fully understand and critique the combat. Like, I have legitimate problems with Marvel's Avengers combat, but it has nothing to do with Hulk being not being weak or anything, because my critique of the combat is from the experience of someone who actually took the time to understand the combat and know how the game works. So most of my critique about the Avengers combat is actually about the difficulty and the enemy design. I feel like the enemy design and interaction could have been much better, because once you do get into the end game, nothing's really a challenge, you know? and the game doesn't really reward skillful interactions. Like, you can pull off some ridiculous melee combos and stuff in Marvel's Avengers, but there's no point to it because it doesn't reward you for doing it, and certain enemy encounters and designs actively discourage you from doing that and just kind of lean you towards just cheesing. You know, that would be my problem with the combat. So with games like these, particularly with looter type of games, you have to actually first obviously have access to the full game, but you also have to take the time to understand the combat, understand the loop, understand the skills, and how to best utilize every character before you really can appreciate and understand what the combat is. Plus, what would another Batman Arkham be about? So Batman was never dead, but they could have presumably made a Batman. There's so many things you could do with Batman. They could have done a Batman comes out of retirement thing. They could have done a prequel. They could have done like a battle for the cowl type of thing where the Bat family is more involved and Dick Grayson becomes the new Batman. They could have done a Batman Beyond game. That probably would have been the ideal thing to go with. But they said, we're going to make a Suicide Squad game. But James Gunn said they're not done with the Arkhamverse, so they could do a Batman Beyond game. They could do games based on other superheroes in the universe. You know, there's a lot of options. You wish you had a PS5? I wish everyone who wanted one had a PS5. You think the JL we're trying to kill might be from another universe? Or there might be clones of our JL? Arkham Origins is an unofficial prequel. Superman game, please. Yes, please, Superman game. If for nothing else, so fans can stop it, because is where all these fandoms are just racing to be toxic. Superman fans are starting to get a little bit toxic. Like, I understand why they're frustrated. Someone should make a Superman game, and I think WB is making a Superman game, but they are starting to get like really toxic, and it is getting annoying. like a lot of the comments I see whenever the Wonder Woman game comes up is some toxic Superman fan acting like, oh, no one wants Wonder Woman. Why is Wonder Woman get a game? Like, bro, stay in your lane. Wonder Woman is literally one of the most iconic characters ever created. You'll get your Superman game at some point. There's no reason to talk down on another game just because it's not the one you wanted. Like, chill. Gamers got to stop doing that. Insider starts in about 20 minutes. They can use this Superman for Super Game Facts. He looks perfect. I'm very confident that WB is going to be making a Superman game. Zaslav was literally just talking about it. He was literally talking about it when he was going over their plans. Cass's Place, shout out to you. Welcome. The CEO, Zaslav, was literally talking about how they're trying to get more aggressive with video games because they have access to all this IP, like DC, like Hogwarts and Lord of the Rings, and they want to start making more games using that IP. And he specifically referenced Superman and Superman Legacy. So obviously, they've been having those conversations. We know James Gunn has been having those conversations because he was talking. he's been talking about video games since he took over, and he specifically mentioned the other day about how they have plans to continue the Arkhamverse. So we know they've had conversations about Superman. There might be already one in development because we still don't know the DC game that WB Games Montreal is working on. They started working on that last year, and they haven't announced what it is yet. But we know it's a single player Unreal 5 based on the job postings and everything like that. For goodness sake, stop using Kevin Conroy's name as yes, please do. If you're one of those people that have brought up Kevin Conroy's name in your critique of Suicide Squad, just stop that immediately. Kevin, you may mean well, but you sound like an idiot, and Kevin Conroy would absolutely not be on your side. What's my honest opinion on the Suicide Squad game? My honest opinion of the Suicide Squad game is that I cannot give you my honest opinion of the Suicide Squad game because I have not played the Suicide Squad game according to the NDA that I signed. I can give you my honest opinion of the Suicide Squad game based on what has been presented and what I have seen publicly, which I have already given. It is a game that I'm looking forward to. It is a game I had questions about, but most of those questions have been answered, so I'm looking forward to trying it. Superman is great in Justice League Heroes. It's not hard to make a Superman. It really isn't. That's the other thing that just annoys me. People insist like, oh, you can't make a Superman game. It's impossible. It's impossible to make a Superman. No, it's not. Shut up. You don't understand the character. You can make a game about pretty much anybody. Like it legitimately blows my mind how many gamers just straight up lack imagination. Like they can't in their minds fathom how one might make a game about Superman because like, oh, he's too powerful, because they've seen like one out of context comic book scan of Superman from like a comic from like 40 years ago, and are like, oh yeah, that Superman's too OP. Like, no, he's not. There have been literally hundreds of different interpretations of Superman. There are so many ways, and also just basic game design. Balance. Games always have balance built into it. Like Kratos is, in terms of the lore, extremely powerful. He could split a mountain. Does the God of War combat reflect that? No. Does it make the game any less fun? No. like it's crazy. Yeah. 50, 60 years ago, there was a version of Superman who could destroy the solar system by sneezing. But you know what? There also was a Superman that can be taken out almost by a nuclear warhead. Like, there are levels to this. It's not like manga. There are many different versions of Superman. You can literally just pick one that's not completely overpowered and build a game around it. You can even just, I don't know, do what a lot of games do and make an origin story. People act like we didn't really get like 10 seasons of Smallville off this very same premise. Kratos flips the temple but struggles over the stone chest. Like, it's like, bro, I literally played. Has anyone played Azura's Wrath before? Like, this is what I always laugh at when people say it's impossible to design a Superman game. Azura's Wrath, the opening mission, one of the earliest. I think this might be like the first or one of the first boss battles in Azura's Wrath. You literally fight a dude who is so big, he's looking down on planet Earth itself. Like, he's actually big enough where planet Earth is like coming. This is literally like planet Earth. This controller is planet Earth relative to his chest. like the attack that he does on you is literally just him poking his finger like this through the Earth's atmosphere, and it's basically like a planet threatening asteroid. His finger. That's like the first boss fight in Azura's Wrath. And people want to sit here and tell you that it's impossible to make a Superman game. Like, legitimately, by near the end of Azura's Wrath, you're literally punching out the sun. Like, you're actually punching the sun and making it die by the end of Azura's Wrath. And people were trying to want to tell me that you can't make a Superman game. Shut up. like, yes, you can. You can make a Superman game even if you let him be OP. I don't want to hear nothing about how a Superman game is impossible because he's too strong. That's 100% cap. Not to mention, we've already had Superman games before. The last one I played was Superman Returns on the Xbox 360, which is literally the exact type of Superman game these gamers want to tell you is impossible to make. It's an open world Superman game. And Superman is strong. He's not completely nerfed. He's strong. He has all his powers. It's open world, but it's a fun game. They just obviously had limited technology back then, and they don't have you like running around faster than the speed of light, but that's also accurate if you've ever like actually read a Superman comic. He doesn't run around that fast on planet Earth anyway. In Superman Returns, you could basically break the sound barrier, which was very fun. And you could run around at super speed. You know, you had your heat vision, and you fought different enemies. You fought robots, you had some kryptonite enemies, but you also had like Bizarro, you know, you had natural disasters. They like switched it up. You can just use that as a blueprint. Even if you don't want to use my Smallville idea, you can use Superman Returns as a blueprint and just build upon it, make it better. Kryptonite and magic weapons for enemies. Kryptonite, magic, electricity, literally just strong enemies. Like, that's the other thing. You don't even have to use kryptonite enemies. You can just get strong enemies. Like, Superman isn't like, it's not like, he's not Saitama from One Punch Man. He's not stronger than everybody. If you just get someone who punches really, really hard, that's fine. They don't need kryptonite. Like, Lex can build a robot that's strong enough to hurt Superman by just hitting him without kryptonite. There are aliens and other entities in DC who don't have special, who aren't using special magic or weak or kryptonite or anything like that, that could just hurt Superman because they're just like that. Wonder Woman doesn't have kryptonite, you know. She's not a high. She doesn't always run around. She doesn't run around just using high level magic, and she can whoop his ass like under the right conditions. Like he has to actually take that fight seriously. Like she would actually give him work if he didn't take the fight seriously without using magic, just using her own strength. she can give him that work. People literally just don't read the comics or understand the characters. One Punch Man is a goated anime. Season 1 is a goated anime. For sure. Season 2, we don't talk about that. But the manga is goated. We need a new Deadpool game. I'm worried about a new Deadpool game, man. The industry's changed, bro. the old Deadpool game, you would not be able to get away with that. They would not let you get away with that. The old Deadpool game was a classic. You would, because it wouldn't be made today, at least not by a Western studio. Except maybe Rockstar. Which is unfortunate. Kevin, appreciate the super chat. You took a picture with Kevin Conroy at Comic-Con, and I told him you had every single Batman game and beat it. He looked around at you and said, even Arkham Knight? I said, yeah. Then he said, oh, you're good. Even Arkham Knight is crazy. Kevin Conroy is a good dude, though. Full disclosure, I still haven't finished Arkham Knight. Like I got it. I played it. Never actually finished it. I watched other people play it and finish it. I could not finish it myself. Those Batmobile missions were just so bad. And just so many. I was like, nah. We're not doing it. Arkham City, loved it. Best superhero game ever. Arkham Origins was the best one. You die on that. You die on that hill. The Batmobile was your kid. You know what? They actually have. I wonder if I could get it to work. They have Arkham Origins on PlayStation Premium. It's one of the old games that they have on the premium that you can stream. I'm gonna see if I might try to see if I could play that on stream. I gotta see if I can get it to work though, because I tried to play it, and the connection, it looked a little sus. I'm gonna try it again. See if I get it to work, because I want to make sure it's not like choppy or anything like that. But we might do an Arkham Origins. Flash game, please. Absolutely. What's up, Brandon? Appreciate you. What's up, Jace? Funny that the same thing you did, you got tired of the Batmobile missions and put the game down. Bro, because it was just so many. Like that's my problem. Like it wasn't fun, and it was like a lot. My favorite superhero ever, I guess I could interpret that a lot of different ways, but I'm just gonna go traditional DC Marvel superhero type, and I'll say my favorite superhero ever, probably still Batman overall, because because the X-Men isn't a superhero, you know, it's a group, it's a series, and the X-Men are my favorite. They're what got me into comics and just superhero stuff in general. The first comic I ever read were X-Men. Like, my cousin had X-Men comics lying around. You know, the show that got me really down the superhero rabbit hole was the X-Men animated series. That's why Wolverine is one of my favorite characters. One of the reasons Wolverine's one of my favorite characters. So so X-Men, you know, just over everything. But individually, yeah, Batman, Spider-Man, Spawn, Wolverine, The Flash, those are my favorite traditional superheroes. On a real note, when I'm looking like Slim Shady and Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, bro needs glasses. Favorite superheroes, Deadpool. Imagine having a Batmobile type car, Suicide Squad, that'd be fire. Red Hood for DLC, that'd be interesting. I mean, he would fit with the Suicide Squad. He likes guns. Green Lantern's your favorite DC hero? Yep. I love me some John Stewart. The best Green Lantern. Just ask Jay Shockblast, he'll tell you. Static Shock, great choice. Love Static Shock. I want them to bring back Static Shock, but like do it properly. Static Shock had one of the best shows like ever. Like one of the best animated shows ever. My childhood, I watched my animated rotation back then was like Batman animated, Spider-Man, X-Men animated, Superman animated, Static Shock, Jackie Chan Adventures. Those are like my Rushmore. Those are such god tier shows. Static Shock, Jackie Chan Adventures were just god tier. And X-Men animated series, and the Batman animated series was probably the best one. X-Men was my favorite. It was just so good. It was just like, because Batman animated series like just raised the quality just to another level. Jake Long, Reverend Jake Long. I never got into Jake Long. Justice League Unlimited. Oh, it was amazing. I'm mad. Young Justice used to be so good. I'm mad it just got bad. But the first 2 seasons of Young Justice were legitimately like so good. I absolutely love that show. Batman Beyond too, like legit. Went from 100 to 0. Literally, those first 2 seasons were just incredible. 3rd season, the crack started to show. You're like, ooh, where we go with this? 4th season, I got through like 1.5 episodes of like season 4. I was like, yeah, I'm out. I was like, yep, I'm out. we ain't doing this one. X-Men Evolution was very good. X-Men has some really good anime as well. Like I wish they did more like anime collabs. Like that's why I'm really looking forward to the Suicide Squad Isekai. because I think like anime is naturally just a great fit for superhero stuff. Like obviously, you know, you've seen anime, you've seen like, you know, My Hero Academia or just general action anime. And usually when every anime I've seen with Marvel or DC anime has been like good. Like there's a really good Iron Man anime movie. There's some really good X-Men anime. Like we need more. We need more DC and Marvel stuff. For sure. The episode should be up. I'm trying to find it. Here we go. Suicide Squad Insider episode 2. Meet the support squad. Squad up. So let's watch and react to this. About 18 minutes, about the same as the other one. Here you go. Literally just hit a minute ago. So let's watch and see what they're talking about. Let me turn out the audio. All right, here we go. Let's check this out. Suicide Squad Insider episode 2, Meet the Support Squad.
All the fun is right here.
Hello, I'm Axel Ridby, game director here at Rocksteady Studios.
I'm Darius Sadigian, studio director at Rocksteady Studios.
We're so excited to welcome you all to episode 2 of our ongoing series, Suicide Squad Insider. In our last episode, we gave you a look at our combat system that combines story, powerful traversal abilities, iconic melee attacks, and explosive gunplay to offer something truly unique.
Hello, beautiful!
We wanted to challenge ourselves. We wanted to expand and really push ourselves in terms of making something new and fresh.
Light him up!
When first introduced, the free-flow combat of Batman Arkham Asylum broke new ground and set a standard that is still popular today. In that spirit, the Rocksteady team decided to delve into new mechanics.
If you're playing solo, you have the power to make combat in our game unique to you while making your way through our story campaign. If you decide to play co-op with friends, you can each become an expert with your playstyle and customize builds, creating a powerful squad unlike any other.
Each person can offer a different benefit to the play experience.
We're super excited to see those sort of team play, synergistic effects happen.
You want a high five?
Up high.
In the Suicide Squad, the world, the narrative, all our features evolve through the lens of DC lore.
Fans for the DC Universe are going to be really excited for this. Not only are we bringing characters back that we've used in the Arkham series, but we're introducing new ones.
You can call me Colonel Rick Flag.
We want players to feel like they explored the DC Universe with us, not just through the story, but also through the mechanics.
No lasso? You gotta be kidding me.
In this episode, we'll meet some of the iconic DC characters who will be helping our anti-heroes to take on their impossible mission.
That was a smooth transition.
Conversations with our team, our voice cast, and our playtesters, along with extended gameplay, will give you a preview of some of the amazing new possibilities we're excited about with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice.
Extended gameplay?
Wait, which superheroes did you say you were again?
This is Suicide Squad Insider, Episode 2.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
The RPG systems are the connective tissue inside of the game.
Things like weapon customization, talent customization, things that really let players get into how they want their character to play.
Now, let's begin.
We built this game with near limitless strategic and personal options.
Players craft their own character within a character. Everyone can pick not only their favorite, but really make a character that's their own.
There's really high skill ceiling mechanics in this game where as you learn to traverse, as you learn to combine your character's abilities more and more, you become better, your character becomes stronger, and in the story of the game, you're taking on stronger and stronger threats.
We have this perspective of always tying back to the narrative and always giving context around the mechanics. With the DC world out there, it just gave us unlimited potential.
With the Arkham games, you could modify some elements of Batman himself. But we knew early on, going with an action shooter was an opportunity to go down a new path and try out new mechanics with a new type of game.
Someone's been busy. How'd you have time to make all this?
In our last episode, we showed the Suicide Squad recruiting the Penguin for Argus.
Okay, Waller. We bagged Penguin.
He goes back to the Hall of Justice to start helping the squad out.
I'm taking authority.
Since we last showed you the Justice League's HQ, it's had a makeover from Amanda Waller and her team. And it's now the forward operating base for Argus's fight against Brainiac.
I wish I could talk about this.
Gameplay, we knew we needed an arms dealer.
You need a good gun runner.
For us, it's been great to bring Penguin back from the Arkham days. We love working with this character.
What he gives you is lots of options for upgrading individual weapons, crafting.
It feels like you're actually interacting with Penguin when you're crafting these items. And that's really where Penguin as a character comes to life in the game.
You get to build them up, creating some really unique combinations, and you can play the game in a way that's unique to you. We have weapons based on different manufacturers.
Star Labs, we have Amertech, we have LexCorp, we have DCPD, and they all come with different flavors.
Lex is very scientific man, right? The guns are very scientific in nature. They have very specific recoil patterns and spread patterns, almost like they are calculated. Then we have Amertech, which is more improvised weaponry, really fast fire rates, high ammo capacity, but it kicks like a donkey.
And once you've unlocked those manufacturers, you can go to Penguin and ask him to sort of craft specific weapons in those manufacturers.
Different guns will play with different styles. Maybe you've got a Deadshot focused on critical hits, on headshots. That might mean that you want to favor a legendary gun which works with that playstyle.
Nice, nice, nice.
Penguin is only one member of what we call the support squad.
Toot toot, scumbags!
There are various supervillains that the squad have begged, stolen, or borrowed from.
For players who just want to play through the story, they'll get the full arsenal to be able to take on the Justice League. But for players who really want to sort of maximize their characters, the support squad missions unlock really cool features.
Our designers have put a lot of effort into making sure that when you play the game, you can have a very different experience from someone else.
Let's meet the rest of the support squad. Here we can see the scientist Gizmo, who has set up shop in the basement of the Hall of Justice.
You're perfect.
We know.
His primary contribution to the squad is the sort of airdropped vehicles that you can use for combat.
Hey!
You're getting into this flying vehicle with rockets and a turret and sort of blow shit up.
They rebuild the vehicles.
And the havoc you can create is outstanding.
Each character from the DC universe offers the player a different way of interacting with the game.
I've been trying on the name Toyman.
More like Annoy Man. Am I right?
I was wondering when they were going to reveal the vehicles.
Actually figure out ways of defeating the Justice League.
He's a tech boy genius who wants nothing more than to help save Metropolis. He can't quite come to terms with the fact that his heroes are
They
now
only
the
gave you a
villains.
tease of the vehicles, by the way.
Changing stuff is my middle name.
There's a lot more to it.
More and more things you can do with Toyman to enhance your gear.
If you want to really perfect your gear to really suit how you like to play the game, Toyman's the character to talk to.
I'm Huck.
Hack is this sort of electronic astral projection.
Anything that has electricity, Hack can manifest through.
By working with Hack and increasing your talent points over the course of the game,
Watch it be
you
like
can unlock a
Arkham
whole myriad
and
of
give it
different
too many
abilities.
levels.
For example, with Harley, you can increase her
No,
grenade
you're
damage.
completely wrong.
Alongside the talent tree, we have what we call the combat combo system. As you're doing these more intricate moves, you build up your combo faster, and the higher that combo is, the more talents you activate.
Ah, this tough love.
Hack also uses her abilities to literally hack Brainiac's comms, so you get to listen in on what the Justice League is talking about, and you also get to hear their sort of corrupted personalities and how different they are from the heroes you once knew.
We have complete control, Brainiac.
Now let's talk about one more member of our support squad. Another infamous DC villain that Director Waller once recruited.
Warnings, story spoilers ahead. You've been warned.
At this point in the game, the squad has discovered evidence
Story
that Poison
spoilers.
Ivy may be alive.
Ivy? Poison Ivy?
Poison Ivy alive?
Dead Poison Ivy after Scarecrow gave Gotham a crop dusting.
Everyone pretend to be
Fans who play
shocked.
close attention to Arkham Knight, they will remember that when Poison Ivy died,
up,
she
Dre?
left behind a little sprout.
I got a real strong hunch she ain't pushing up daisies no more.
And in this game, you discover that that sproutling has been cared for by some people who may have had their own motivations for doing so. But in the chaos of Metropolis, she's escaped.
Find her. Bring her to me for questioning.
Using special technology they've acquired, the Suicide Squad is tracking Ivy down.
If Ivy's in the city, this tracker will lead you to her.
Unless y'all want to end up a poorly plated spring mix, you better put me in charge and let me talk to Ives first.
So in playing solo, players
I didn't
can
say you were
switch
hating.
between
I
any
just said
of the
you were completely
characters.
wrong.
You get to experience all the different play styles
Like-
across all
Like
of the different
on
missions.
a fundamental level.
And here we go!
So here she is. Thought she'd be taller.
Are you serious right now? Poison Ivy is a redhead. This is a plant. You might be the dumbest.
Wonder where Catwoman at?
There's my girl.
Kid Poison Ivy.
She is not made of meat. Is this what you call a vegetarian option?
I don't know you, but my pheromones remember you. Strange emotions.
What?
Tell me about
Poison
it.
Ivy's
Wasn't
a child?
expecting you to come in fun size.
Pretend to be shocked.
You really don't know me? Harley and Ivy forever?
No one saw the.
10-story burning letters?
No one saw those leaks.
Nope.
Jeez. Lex Corp really did a number on you, huh, Red? He dressed you up in that outfit, too?
No. I took it. When I broke out. He shut me in a room in his tower. If I worked on the things he wanted, I got a
You're so
whole
lost.
hour of sunlight every day.
What did he want?
If you don't understand what's going
Making them
on,
more effective against the
it's just
alien
like
invaders.
it's just like Guardians of the
they're
Galaxy.
very susceptible to plant toxins.
What happened to
And,
Groot?
I know all about plant toxins.
We know. That's why they call you Poison Ivy.
It's just Ivy.
She's just
Weirdo.
It's just like Groot.
Where's Lex now?
I don't know. Something spooked him, I guess. He got in his big robot suit and stomped off.
Ooh, I know that look. Who you murdering?
The corrupted things that are coming. All of them. They're
Ivy
poisoning
can
the
resurrect
earth with
herself.
their
Exactly.
gross bodies. So I lured them here.
She left behind a seed of herself
The wrath of nature.
that eventually
I
grew
like it.
Oh, this is my friend Daphne.
And
We'll make all the
allow her
aliens
to-
choke to
self
death
to come
on
back.
spores. You make sure Daphne doesn't die, or you're next.
Waller, be advised Lex is AWOL in a power suit, and Ivy's an eco-terrorist middle schooler. Dead shot out.
How'd we end up hugging a giant plant? I have allergies. Anyone care? Ah!
Here's a brief look at the mission that follows your first encounter with Ivy.
All right, they're going to show us the
You'll see a
mission.
variety of custom builds and loadouts that draw on the power of DC villains.
Ivy's plans need protection. Split up your squad to attack from different directions.
I'm gonna see this gear
Standing here.
and the logos that they
Now
have.
go defend!
Combat in this game revolves around 3 core pillars: traversal, gunplay, and melee. Someone like Deadshot can take a vantage point and provide cover fire.
Deadshot be going crazy. Snipe.
You can find wild ways to upgrade your melee attacks. With the Great Suspender, a single boomerang can launch several enemies.
Look at Captain Boomerang using his boomerang.
A job worth doing right.
You love to see
gun
it.
is from the Bane's Rage set.
Ooh, the Bane gun.
Landing a critical hit spawns a power-up that can infuse other weapons like grenades with Bane's Rage, making them more powerful.
I definitely want that Bane gun.
Invaders locked at me! Quickly! Those aliens pollute everything!
King Shark's loadout here includes Black Mask's Bulletstorm and the Heatwave's Molten Shield to synergize. He has triggered the Bulletstorm effect, which means that he's now immune from damage thanks to the Heatwave's Molten Shield, making this a perfect opportunity to get in close.
That's pretty OP. That's a nice little loadout.
Savor it.
This mission is where we introduce Afflictions, elemental attacks from Ivy's plants that draw on the powers of different DC villains. Use an Affliction to freeze your enemies before you deliver an explosive finale.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to put that build together.
Task Force X, report. Have you secured Ivy?
How is Ivy alive? They literally just explained that.
Funny story.
Although she doesn't remember her old life, Ivy is still a deadly expert with toxins, and she
left behind. They didn't record anything.
Afflictions.
The results are so
It's literally her. It's literally
When
how her
you
powers
manage
work.
to recruit her, she comes back to the Hall of Justice as kind of like a loose
She left
cannon,
behind a
precocious
plant
toddler
seedling
who also has terrifying genetic
that
engineering
allowed her to
powers.
resurrect herself.
Then we introduced the concept of afflictions. Players can apply these afflictions to their melee weapons, their grenades.
But she doesn't have her
They can
memories.
mix and match different things for the encounter.
And each affliction ties back to a DC character.
So we have 4 afflictions. Diablo Blaze sets people on fire, burns them over time.
Ooh,
But you can't
Diablo.
shield harvest them. We have Deep Freeze, freezes people. You can shatter them with your
Little
guns,
cryo.
but they are pretty resistant to melee damage. They won't drop ammo when they die. At any point, you can have up to 2 different elemental afflictions, then add in the
Interesting.
3 other players. So what you've got there is lots of different ways to engage with enemies.
Your fight is far from over.
So at Rocksteady, what we sort of pride ourselves on is investigating how players play. Do they get the language
How
that
she
we're
in
trying to
Metropolis,
create?
Lex
We had an
Luthor.
amazing opportunity to get a group of proper gamers from the community involved in the development process pretty early.
Some of the characters, the mission types during the story, I'd definitely say this has got a Rocksteady stamp on it.
The experience
Harley-
of Suicide
Harley took it
Squad
the
with
hardest.
Justice League is really fluid.
Apparently
really
her and
smooth,
Harley had a
feels
thing.
really polished. It's chaos, but in a good way.
Surprise, surprise.
It's very fast and very momentum based. And I think there's a lot of verticality to it.
No other game that makes you feel so free and powerful.
Yes! You also have this deep building of your character with a more superhero twist. For example, I kind of gravitated towards Deadshot because I'm a big fan of shooting guns and big crit builds. You can use the juggling mechanic to get 100% crit chance, and then from there, do big damage.
The knowledge that we gained, seeing players explore the mechanics, it gave us like a little taste of what it's going to be like when we got like a bigger community to share the game with.
Now listen, how about a team up?
When the studio made the Arkham series, we were very much focused on single character, single perspective. And with this game, we saw that opportunity to get the community more involved.
For us, it was about expanding and enhancing into something new and different. And we wanted this experience to be shared with more than just one person.
One of the coolest experiences in the game is when you're playing with friends and each character can tackle the problems that you're facing together differently.
You are learning how to overcome challenges together.
All these characters are geared up to be able to complement each other.
Because each of them is moving differently, sometimes another character might come in from a direction you don't expect.
I'm liking
You can
the
create
gear.
unintentional cinematic
I'm liking the
moments
gear
with your
system so far.
friends. When you really are in sync with your squad, it's such a special feeling, and I think something I haven't experienced in any other game.
Multiplayer is new for the studio, but it's super exciting because we get to see Rocksteady hallmarks of story-driven game, but from multiple perspectives. And getting to share that with your friends is pretty unique.
We hope you enjoyed episode 2 of Suicide Squad Insider.
Phew, I need a smoke.
I need more therapy.
In our next episode, we'll take a look at what you can expect from our game after launch.
This is the biggest
post-launch
cinematic
content.
experience that Rocksteady has ever created, with more hours of cinematic cutscenes than ever before. But I think we leave the setting of our story open enough that for post-launch content, players will be excited to come back and find out what we're going to do next.
You, want to talk about it?
Know what, Quinn?
I can't say anything.
I do.
I don't think players are ready for the new playable characters they're going to get, or even the places they're going to get to take them.
This game is much bigger than the
Auntie
world
Deborah.
of the Suicide Squad. Rocksteady will continue to build on the story.
We're delivering you a full game, but for those that want to go further, we're going to have lots of new updates that are free to our players, and we really want to engage with our community to give them new experiences regularly.
At the end of the game, everyone goes, wow, this was a hell of a ride.
Superman.
Let's play again.
So that was Suicide Squad Insider Episode 2. W. I was looking forward to learning more about the gear and how they would update it, because definitely Dredd is right. One of the problems with Gotham Knights is that they didn't commit to the gear. That was also a big problem with Avengers. Gotham Knights didn't commit, and Avengers didn't understand it. But it looks like they understand the importance of having like well thought out gear that synergizes with perks, and they have different aspects of that. I'm looking forward to the playing around with the affliction. All right, now Flo, enjoy. It's so weird watching Des play this game. Not playing yourself, yeah. I wanted to see Jay Shockblast playing it. Red Days 3 days after. Let's go. I was surprised that they dropped a little. It's nice that they didn't tell you too much about the vehicles. It's told you a little bit. A little bit. What's up, Captain? Little tease about the vehicles. But that's going to be really fun. There's a lot to it. So they didn't say when the next episode is. But they did reveal that it would be talking about post-launch content. Which, definitely a W. I wonder how much they're gonna. Ooh. I wonder how much they're gonna tell you. I'm looking forward to that. Obviously I'm not allowed to say what I do know, but people are going to be very surprised about how much post-launch content they have. Just how much stuff they're planning on allowing you to do beyond just the story. It's pretty crazy. You reroll gears, that's it up. Yeah, crafting is definitely important. Like, that's the other thing. Like, it's one thing to just be like, okay, well, you play a mission, you farm, you gear farm, you farm to get gear that just gives you a higher number or the right perk, or you like what happened with the Gotham Knights, where you play the same mission over and over again because, and this was also an issue with Avengers, because there was no modification, you would, in order to get like highly sought after gear, you would have to essentially play the same thing over and over again, hoping to get the perfect combination of rolls, which was very annoying. Whereas with Suicide Squad, they're like giving you a ton of customization options So you're not just simply playing the same stuff over and over again, hoping to get the right role. You can use your knowledge and try to put together different perks and combinations in order to make it to make it work, and give yourself like the right, give yourself something that suits your play style. He was saying so it remains to be seen if it will perform better than Avengers or not. What I can definitively say is that it's way ahead of Avengers in terms of how prepared they are. Like it or not, and it's perfectly fine if you don't like this style of game. You know, that's perfectly fine. Every game isn't for everybody. A lot of people like this type. A lot of people like this type of game. If it's not for you, it's fine. But the problem with Avengers is that it didn't actually know what kind of game it wanted to be. Like one of the most hilarious and, in retrospect, cringe moments was before Avengers came out, when they were literally asked the most basic of questions at E3. It was like, what kind of game? So what kind of game did you make? Is it like a story driven thing, or is it kind of like a looter? And their answer was like, I don't know. It's like it's kind of like this, it's kind of like that. It's like, that's not a good answer. Like, you should know what kind of game you're making before, definitely before launch, but definitely, before development. Like, that should be very clear. You should know exactly what kind of game you're making, and whether you like it or not, Suicide Squad knows exactly what kind of game it's making. Rocksteady intentionally made this game, and they are committed to it. What does GAS mean? It means games as a service. That's the full. That's what the full term means. People say live service for sure, but it is referred to as games as a service. It's the philosophy of making a game that goes beyond just delivering you a singular one-off experience, and acts as literal service where it continuously lives and breathes and serves you more content, and at the same time opportunities to give them more money. You all know, man, the leaks are fake. So one of the leaks that definitely was real was Poison Ivy. I don't know how many of you saw. I know some people were legitimately surprised, but one of the leaks was images of young Poison Ivy. Let me go back. Yeah, here we go.
Of the Hall of Justice.
You're perfect.
We know.
His primary contribution to the squad is the sort of airdropped vehicles.
So this is the vehicle reveal.
Shop in the basement of the Hall of Justice.
You're perfect.
You get from Gizmo.
His primary contribution to the squad is the sort of
So there you go. So one of the vehicles you got, you're going to go to Gizmo. He's going to basically pimp your ride. Customizable vehicle. This is going to be cool. So they see you're flying, you're hanging out the top, shooting.
Getting into this flying vehicle with rockets and a turret and sort of blow shit up, and the havoc
Looks fun.
is outstanding.
And you don't have to stay in the vehicle, as you can see. That's why I mentioned earlier the comparison to Arkham Knight is just like fundamentally wrong. You're using the vehicle as an accessory to the combat. You have a mission. You're using the vehicles, and it's just another weapon in your arsenal, which I think is really cool. I know. Obviously, I know more about the vehicles that I'm not allowed to say, but it's going to be a good time. I'm definitely looking forward to playing around with the vehicles. Shout out to Gizmo. Poison Ivy coming back is going to be it's definitely throwing some people off. Poison Ivy being young. Potential Wonder Woman Invisible Jet. I wouldn't say that. So the deep dive episode 2 was impressive. I thought it was. You don't need free flow combat. You wouldn't even take melee combat, similar to Avengers, to be honest. I mean, Avengers had pretty good melee attacks. They just was like a 2 or 3 hit combo. So you shoot people. That's going to steal real fast. Like that. The game is not for everybody. It is primarily, obviously, once again, they have not shown you all of the combat and all the stuff you'll be able to unlock, but if you don't like third-person shooters, this is not going to be the game for you. That's just simply it. She's definitely Groot. Literally Groot, yeah. Groot also died, and thanks to his powers, was able to regenerate. But Ivy lost her memories. Hers didn't work quite the same as Groot's. You know, she basically reincarnated, essentially. So she mentioned she has her pheromones recognize the squad. So it's like an imprinted memory, but she doesn't actually remember her life because she basically just reincarnated herself. You were asking, you didn't. Why would you ask? That's not a question. saying so episode 2 wasn't impressive. That's not a question. That's not a real question. If you were just trying to wonder what the episode, if you were just wondering if you missed the episode, then you should have just been like, "Hey, I missed episode 2. What happened?" That's how. Why would you just run in like, "Oh, so the episode sucked"? What? I'm just asking. Like, no, that's weird, bro. just say, hey, I missed the hey, I just came in. I missed episode 2. Can you give me like a summary of what happened? That's a weird way to approach it. If you were just asking. What's up, Taladia? Episode 2 was a surprise for you. I was surprised that they revealed Poison Ivy and the vehicles. And I'm glad that they revealed that they're going to be doing the post-launch content in episode 3. And I like some of these perks. But yeah, so the episode the big reveals, the episode was about basically the gear and the perks system, and they also talked about the vehicles. They revealed Poison Ivy, and they revealed the plans for episode 3. Playing the alpha with friends convinced you. The vehicles was your favorite part. Yeah, the vehicles was my favorite part. Also liked
game, but from multiple perspectives.
Your guns, but they are pretty resistant to melee damage. They won't drop ammo when they
I wanna rewatch this section.
You can infuse other weapons like grenades with Bane's Rage. The game revolves around 3 core pillars: traversal, gunplay, and melee. Someone like Deadshot can take a vantage point, can provide cover fire. You can find wild ways to upgrade your melee attacks. With the Great Suspender, a single boomerang.
That's such a great perk.
Several enemies off the ground.
That's a
job worth doing right.
This is an absolute god tier perk, by the way.
Upgrade your melee attacks. With the Great Suspender.
If you're a Captain Boomerang main like me, you get this perk. This is absolutely a god tier perk. Get this perk if you're rocking out with Captain Boomerang. What's up, Lejeune? Weapon and melee crafting, recalibration, cooking. Yo, bro, that's all. Yo, how many people during Avengers were asking for recalibration, bro? I remember Genius Button. He's not in here right now, bro. All this man did was beg them
A single boomerang can launch several
for recalibration.
A job worth doing right.
So glad they added that.
Bane's Rage set. Landing a critical hit spawns a power-up that can infuse other weapons.
The Bane Rage set.
Bane's Rage.
So the villain weapon sets are going to be really good. I definitely need me some villain weapon sets. That Bane set looks crazy.
Loadout here includes Black Mask's Bulletstorm and the Heatwave's Molten Shield to synergize.
Heatwave's Molten Shield.
Bulletstorm effect, which means that he's now immune from damage thanks to the Heatwave's Molten Shield, making this a perfect opportunity to get in close.
Bro, that's a crazy perk for a King Shark.
He has triggered the Bulletstorm effect, which means that he's now immune from damage thanks to the Heatwave's Molten.
So King Shark is like the most as you could tell, he's like the most melee-y of all of them. And having her perk where you can not only set enemies on fire, but you can get temporary immunity to damage is crazy.
Molten Shield, making this a perfect opportunity to get in close.
Savor it.
That's a wild perk.
This mission is where we introduce afflictions, elemental attacks from Ivy's plants.
Heatwave and Captain Cold and Mr. Freeze. A lot of cryo in this.
Deliver an explosive finale.
A lot of cryo in this game. I love it.
Have you secured Ivy? Yeah.
We think they can improve on as far as gameplay.
She doesn't remember her old life. Ivy is still a deadly expert with toxins, and she can offer.
I mean, the game is what it is.
Afflictions.
From what they've shown, they're doing it right.
To recruit her, she comes back to the Hall of
As someone who likes complex melee,
who also has terrifying genetic engineering powers.
you're probably, you know, if you're looking for God of War Sekiro or a Sekiro type of thing, you're probably not going to get that.
Different things for the encounter. And each affliction,
but from what I've seen, they've synergized it really well.
Diablo Blaze sets people on fire, burns them over time, but you can't shield harvest them. We have deep freezes people. You can shatter them with your guns, but they are pretty resistant to melee damage. They won't drop ammo when they die.
At any point, you can have up to 2 different elemental afflictions, then add in the 3 other players. So what you've got there is lots of different ways to.
So I'm a little worried about. So the afflictions sound interesting, and it's good that they have like drawbacks, but I'm wondering if the drawbacks for the affliction will make them like not practical to use. If that makes sense, because the characters from what we've seen have like really crazy perks on their own in their own skill tree. They've got villain themed weapons that give you just ridiculous perks. So why am I adding afflictions if they're like giving you like these really like limiting drawbacks, like not being able to shield harvest or get ammo drops is like kind of a big deal. So I'm wondering if the afflictions are actually, we gotta see how the afflictions, if you can like synergize them with perks, with other perks to potentially cancel out the negative effects. Because resistance to melee damage isn't a big deal, but not dropping ammo would be. that's what I'm saying. So I gotta see. I gotta play around with it in the game.
Your fight is far from over.
So at Rocksteady, what we sort of pride ourselves on is.
Some enemies were definitely going to be susceptible to certain elements, but that's the other thing that I mentioned. You have other weapons. Like there are going to be some enemies that you can be like, okay, well, if I use this element, I can do more damage. But if you're already doing a ton of damage, like unless they're like immune to everything except an element, it's like, okay, well, I don't need that element. You know, I could just be like, okay, I do enough damage on my own. I don't need that extra element. Or you can literally just use another gun. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the afflictions are all just another elemental stack, from what I could tell. But you already have element perks from the guns in the game. Like they've got the heat, like they literally have a heat wave theme set. They showed that King Shark had, which not only set enemies on fire when it triggered, but it activated a perk that makes King Shark immune to damage temporarily. So if I have a heat wave gun that allows me to go in and be immune to damage as King Shark and set enemies on fire, why would I then add on to that gun a perk, an affliction that also sets enemies on fire over time, but eliminates my ability to shield harvest? Like, like, why would I need that? That's why I'm wondering if the afflictions are going to have like something else going for them that make them worth using despite the drawbacks, or kind of a way to cancel out the drawbacks. Otherwise, it feels like Poison Ivy is like kind of useless as a vendor. Like if all her if all the afflictions just, that's why I want to see maybe the other affliction is better. Like they showed fire and ice. They said there are 4 afflictions. Maybe the others are really good, because the 2 they showed look trash. Like, okay, I can get ice and fire from other villain weapons without the drawback. So I'm like, why would I go to Ivy for that? Your builds are about to be OP. You're gonna create one to one-shot Superman in a week or 2 tops. Afflictions are valid based on what exactly? Are you a developer? Do you have some inside information to share about how afflictions work in the game? That you are allowed to share with the class? The war on attractive females in games mostly stop. Oh, we got a Kyle in the chat.
Elemental afflictions, then add in the 3 other players. So what you've got there is lots of different ways to engage with enemies.
They showed the electric one. Yeah, but we don't know what it does. You talk about gear and stuff, then you talk about women being attracted in games. Facts, bro. I follow you. Weebo Waba. That can't be your YouTube name. I mean, that can't be your Twitter name. I don't know anyone off the top of my head named Weeba Waba. That's a wild name, bro. What's your Twitter name? You almost at 100K. Been here since Avengers. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's been crazy. That's why. But yeah, my criticism of afflictions is just going off of the information that they've shown so far. Like, why are afflictions vital? From what I can tell, it's just elemental damage. It's just elemental status. Hitting enemies with elemental status and doing elemental damage. You can do that without affliction. They already showed in the trailer, in this episode, you can apply element status without using afflictions. They have villain themed weapons that do the same thing. So why exactly are afflictions vital? That's what I'm trying to piece together, because there seems to be some overlap between their utility, because the afflictions do have a drawback to them. Whereas from what we can tell, the villain weapons don't. So like, why would I use the fire affliction if I have like the heat wave and Diablo stuff? Like, why? Like, what's the utility? Let me go back here.
King Shark's loadout here includes Black Mask's Bulletstorm and the Heatwave's Molten Shield to synergize. He has triggered the Bulletstorm effect, which means that he's now immune from damage thanks to the Heatwave's Molten Shield, making this a perfect opportunity to get in close.
So if I have a Black Mask Heatwave build on my King Shark, why do I need Poison Ivy to do fire affliction? Why would I need fire affliction? See what I'm saying?
More powerful.
Get the invaders locked at me! Quickly!
Why would I need it at all?
Pollute everything.
If I have the Bane perk.
Masks Bulletstorm, and the heat waves molten shield to synergize. He has triggered the Bulletstorm effect, which means that he's now immune from damage thanks to the heat waves molten.
Like I'm doing damage. It looks like they're doing fire. It looks like they're getting burned, and I'm getting immunity to damage. So why am I using the heat? So why am I using the fire? Why would I get the fire affliction if it's going to take away my ability to harvest shields when I can literally just use my black mass heat wave Bulletstorm build and just run through enemies? Like there's got to be something else to it. I'm just not seeing what it is. Say this one, you'll say it again. Gotham Knights cared more about Batman and his legacy. It's funny how people just kind of pick and choose or just have like wildly different interpretations. Like there are people who swear up and down that the developers of Gotham Knights hated Batman because, you know, he dies multiple times and you don't get to use him. And now I'm seeing someone in here defending Gotham Knights by saying they somehow were just super protective and honoring of Batman's legacy, as if Rocksteady somehow isn't. Literally the ones that put Batman games on the map. Like, let's be serious. Because you don't need to harvest shields when you're not taking damage. That doesn't make any sense. If the game that, first of all, that doesn't answer my question about why the affliction would be useful. The reason why you want the ability to harvest shields from enemies is because your shield doesn't last forever. Obviously, that's why there's a shield harvest mechanic. If you're going to be taking damage, if you do take damage, which you will, you're going to eventually need to harvest shield to get it back. But if you can't harvest shield because you're using this affliction, how then do you get your shield? That's what I'm saying. That's my question. Why even go through that at all if I can just not use the affliction at all and still get the benefits of using the fire element? That's what I'm trying to get to.
Making this a perfect opportunity to getting.
That's what I'm trying to get at here. Why is the affliction useful if I can get elemental damage and great perks from other weapons without using affliction? Do I think the Wolverine game is going to be good? Obviously, it's going to be good. It's Insomniac. Can you believe the hackers leaked Insomniac? I can't believe it. Hackers do terrible things all the time. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate that you DN me. Let's see. Let me see your secret identity. Oh, okay. I got you. So I will not be saying anything. I will not be saying anything about your identity. But yeah, my question was just literally there has to be something missing. there has to be something that we're not seeing here, because the afflictions feel like they're like an add-on. So I'm hoping there's more to it, because you know, it the idea of having Poison Ivy as a vendor is dope, but I want it to be like useful. Like, if I can just, I want it to be a situation where I have this OP set and build put together, and I'm not, and I'm like, have no reason to use afflictions. What I don't want is for it to be a situation where you have to use afflictions because it's like, oh well, you have to. Literally, the game mechanic is going to be like, oh well, you have to use afflictions because even though it's just elemental damage, you need this particular affliction to be on this, to defeat this particular enemy. Even if you have an element, even if you have the element on a different weapon, it has to be an affliction. That would be a little annoying, I will say. Shut up. I could literally probably just ask Miller, but I don't want to do that. Miller probably knows everything, but I don't like just asking Miller to spoil things. Is that really Poison Ivy? Yes, but it's not the Poison Ivy that you know. It is, but it isn't. So it is the Poison Ivy from the previous Arkham games, but it's also not. She sacrificed herself, but she left behind this plant sport, this little plant seedling, because part of her ability is that she can resurrect herself, but at the cost of her memories. So basically, she just used the plant seedling that she left behind after sacrificing herself in Arkham Knight in order to revive. And Lex Luthor has basically just been cultivating her plant, you know, and everything like that, while, you know, serving up resistance for this whole invasion. Which obviously very disappointing to Harley, because, you know, her and Poison Ivy were, you know, kind of a thing, and now Ivy is a child. So sucks for her. You're most likely going to get this game, but you're not pre-ordering. Fair. Definitely, you know, check it out, see the reviews, look at how people are enjoying it. Did you see Arkham Batman in day? You probably did. Batman. So the thing about the Suicide Squad Cut of Justice League is that it's got day and night cycles. You know, sometimes the action takes place during the day, sometimes it's at night. Batman is an op in this game, so day or night, he'll be out there. About to drag Rocksteady for this. I mean, let's be honest, they're going to drag Rocksteady no matter what they do. Let's keep it all the way real. no matter what Rocksteady reveals. Somebody is going to find a way to hate on it. But I was distracted by DM. Does this mean Lex is playable in some way? If he's not, well, I wouldn't say that. He would be interesting as a DLC character, but actually, I know who the DLC characters are, so I can't even I can't even say that. Don't expect Lex to be playable. See, I got another DM. Yeah. Who cares if the hater stinks? That's a great way to look at it for sure. Because this is probably the best example I could think of. Suicide Squad literally is giving away their content for free. The post-launch content, playable characters, all this stuff is free. It's a live service game where almost all of the live service stuff that you associated with it are free. And the bad live service stuff that you associate with live service, like loot boxes, aren't in the game. The loot boxes, none of that's in the game. The new story stuff, the new playable characters, all that stuff is free. And people still criticize Suicide Squad for being a greedy live service game that's trying to milk players for money by being full of microtransactions. Like, you can't make this up. A game where literally all the post-launch content is free is being criticized for having too many microtransactions. Like, so it literally, in fact, does not matter what Rocksteady does. There always are going to be haters because they don't actually care. Like, this is not honest criticism. They're just mad that it's not the game that they wanted. So they're going to look for any excuse to attack the game, no matter what. If you take away reasons for them to hate the game, they're just going to make up new ones. Like, it's like, oh, it's live service, it's going to be pay to win, all this other stuff. Well, actually, all the content's free. Oh, well, it's going to have loot boxes. Actually, it doesn't have loot boxes. Well, it's always online. You know, always online is bad. Okay, I agree. They agree, so they're taking that out. They're going to have an offline mode. Well, it should be single player. It is single player. You can play the whole thing single player, or you can play with your friends. Yeah, well, microtransactions. It doesn't have a lot of microtransactions. It has a battle pass with a free tier, and the post-launch content, DLCs, stories, free. Yes, but my live service. You know, they're always going to find something. They don't care. They just want to be mad. They just want to be mad. It doesn't matter. The out of contact leaks definitely not helping at all. It's definitely not. Leaks are just always, story leaks always just don't help, especially when they're out of context. But probably this is more annoying than usual story leaks, because of the fact that most of them are fake. and people don't understand that. It's actually just what that's definitely got to be frustrating. Cause just like, I know Miller is mad because I see Miller. He's sitting there like, he knows the leaks are fake, and he knows the stuff that is true is like horribly out of context, but he can't say anything because, well, he could say something, but he doesn't want to spoil the game for everybody. That's why he's not doing story spoilers. He's sticking to stuff like teasing the playable characters, talking about some game modes and stuff you can expect. But he's not publicly sharing like story stuff because he thinks people or features that would be like spoilery, because he wants players to experience as much as the game as possible and enjoy it. But you got all these leaks running around that are complete nonsense for the most part, but he can't debunk them he can't fully debunk them. He can say on his reputation, like, yeah, I actually know the actual story of the game, and I know for a fact that most of these leaks are fake, and the stuff that has truth to it are taken completely out of context. But I can't give specifics because that would spoil the game. So it's like it's a tough situation. They should definitely have an open beta. Think we deserve a demo to try out? I mean, you got one. Like, so that's the funny thing. The only difference between the open and closed beta would be the fact that you'd be allowed to talk about it. Like, they already gave you a demo. The closed alpha basically let you play the game early. Like, it was a demo. Like, you got to play the game, experience the whole experience, the actual game, the online functions, and it was like not even hard to get into. Like, you applied on the website, and even if it's a bunch of people, so I'm surprised by how many people got invited into the closed alpha. But it does make sense when you consider the fact that they were trying to test the online component. That was what they mentioned is what they were really trying to test for the closed alpha. So in that regard, you would want to have a larger number of people than maybe you normally would, because you're trying to test that infrastructure and make sure it's going to hold up. But not only did a ton of people get invited, but they made it so that each person that gets invited can invite 3 more people. So if you didn't get the initial invite, you just ask somebody, because somebody probably had an extra invite. I know Lucky had like 20 to give out. We had so many invites to give out, like, it was crazy. So that's why a lot more people have a different opinion about the game, because they actually got to play it. The only downside is that because it was a technically closed alpha, we're not allowed to talk about our experiences in alpha, publicly. Obviously people have been doing it anonymously, but technically you're not supposed to say anything. Blasted NDA is like that actually, that's funny. They honestly, based on the size, I can understand, like, maybe from a risk assessment standpoint, why they would want the NDA closed alpha thing. But my thing is, You should have known, or I would have told you, even if you make it a closed alpha, even if you have people sign the NDA, they're still gonna talk about it. like that's like someone literally tried to stream it. Like, did y'all see that? Heard, but you didn't see the footage. It's the funniest footage. It's one of the funniest clips of 2023. I wish I had it. I wish I saved it. This is a streamer. This is a Twitch streamer, mind you. An actual person who streams on Twitch. They got into the closed alpha, where the closed alpha you're specifically not allowed to talk about. They've got watermarks all over the screen to make sure that no one shares any of the footage from the closed alpha. You sign an NDA in order to get into it before you're allowed to play, saying that you're not going to talk about it or share anything from it. This dude streams the closed alpha live. He actually went live streaming the closed alpha on Twitch. And when people pointed out, hey, you're not allowed to do that. It's a closed alpha. He said, don't worry, it's fine. I turned on streamer mode. You can't make this up. I thought it was just elaborate trolling. He was apparently dead serious. He thought that turning on streamer mode, you know, the feature that games added where it just turns off the copyrighted music so that you could stream it. He thought that meant, oh, that means I can stream the game even though I signed an NDA saying that I wouldn't share or talk about anything from this. Bro got banned in real time. Live on Twitch, he got banned. I was crying, bro. I was like, no way. No way people like this exist, bro. Bro, I swore he was trolling. That reminds you of Aiden Ross live stream Spider-Man 2 days before I'm out, bro. Oh, that's wild, bro. Like, in the future, if you have to sign an NDA, read it. Please. Please read it. He has to be a troll. He unfortunately wasn't, because he was very surprised when he got banned live. You're getting an Xbox Series X for Christmas? Congratulations, Kai. Hope it works out for you. Are you going to get yourself some Forza, some Starfield, some Redfall? Is that all? Is that all of them? Hi-Fi Rush? I think those are all the Xbox games I know. He getting Blade, yeah, in like 3 years. That's not going to help him on Christmas. He can't get blamed for Christmas. He can look at the concept art. Don't think he's gonna want to do that when he opens that on Christmas. Can't play concept art. But Game Pass, I mean, as long as you got Game Pass, you'll be all right. There's plenty of stuff on Game Pass. That's like the biggest appeal of Xbox, Game Pass. And you don't even need an Xbox to even play on Game Pass, which is crazy. Backwards compatibility. Honestly, if Xbox had just did a straight up remaster of Fable 2, I'll be playing it right now. Can you actually play Fable 2 on Xbox? Like right now? Can you actually play that on the Series X? I feel like you should be able to, right? It was only on the 360. So the backwards compatibility should apply to that. You didn't think anyone was that stupid dumb, really hard to believe? I've learned through my experience as a content creator, like I thought people were dumb before. Obviously, I watch TV, but I thought, it's like not that rare. Like true stupidity isn't. It's not that common. People are generally reasonable. And then I became a content creator, and social media became a thing. Oh boy. I have learned that there is no limit. The limit does not exist. The main reason you use your old fallen apart Xbox is to play Arkham Origins. That's the reason I still have PlayStation Premium is because they let me stream old games like Origins if I wanted to go that route. Yeah, installing Twitter was definitely a mistake. Said Wolverine is dead. I thought I explained everything in that video. Definitely watch that video if you haven't already. I mean, a lot of you have. I shared this in the Discord. Definitely join. By the way, if you haven't already, we have it open to the public now. We still have the members only section, and members get all the perks. But I was showing it in there. Our Wolverine news video yesterday, just generally covering all the Insomniac hacks and everything like that. Without going into details about the leaks, I basically just talked about the video. Basically, I talked about what happened, what was leaked, without going into any specific details about or showing any of the leaked material. Basically, talked about what happened with the Insomniac and Wolverine and some of the implications of the Wolverine hack, because this wasn't like a normal leak. Like they got everything. And we hit trending. We actually hit trending, chat. For the first time, we hit number 19 on YouTube trending. So I definitely want to thank y'all for blowing that video up and allowing me to get my message out there. I thought it was important because I wanted to make sure I supported Insomniac, shouted them out, and made it clear that we should not normalize sharing the hack material because it's literally stolen. So I definitely appreciate that. Are the DLC characters leaked? Yeah, Do Right Nation's definitely goated for that. Number 19 on trending is actually crazy. Like I was sitting there looking at it weird. Like I'm literally scrolling through YouTube trending, seeing all these huge creators, and I just see me and my dumb face sitting there like how am I here? That's crazy. But the DLC for Suicide Squad, mostly. So Miller, I think Miller leaked at least one, like at least two. I'll say two. He basically told people he gave us definitive leaks on two. I'll just say that. And then he used icons for the rest of them. And people are trying to guess who he's talking about for the rest of them. But I think Miller only gave us definitively two. And then he's like, let people guess the others. I think people guessed the third one. I think people might have guessed the third one. But I know he definitely gave two. Straight up. I can't. US Ivy was a playable character. Well, not Kid Ivy. I want a grown Ivy. Yeah, the sword dude. The sword dude got leaked. Yeah, I asked him before who the actual characters are. So, and he told me, but I believe publicly he kind of, except for the sword dude, he just put it. He just put some little emojis there and made you guess. Definitely. One of those is wrong, yours truly. I won't say which one. I won't say who, but one of those is incorrect. You're on the right track though. Hold on. Hope she's in the game. What? Like I said, I don't want to say who. I can't say who, but one of those is wrong. I'm not going to say anything else. I can't say anything else. But I was told who it was, and that what they can do is very cool and very awesome. But that's all I can say. I think people are going to be very happy with the DLC characters in Suicide Squad Could Have Just League. I would say that. I think pretty sure I'm allowed to say that. Because they're literally going to be talking about post-launch content in episode 3. So I think I'm allowed to say that. Because they confirmed there will be post-launch characters. They're going to talk about post-launch content next video. So yeah. A lot of people are going to be surprised and really enjoy some of the post-launch characters. Confusion hit you like a ton of bricks. I cannot confirm or deny who is in Suicide Squad Could Have Justice League as a playable character. Swords can be involved. There's a lot of things, a lot of powers in this game. There are blades. There's ice. There's fire. There's flying. There's really cool technology, especially really cool Batman technology that we've seen, you know. All different things to expect in this game. And in the future, you know. I think people are gonna enjoy enjoy what they play. Oh yeah, I forgot. I gotta update my Nightbot commands. Cause the Discord is now open. Capte, he's slacking. He's not in the Discord like he should be. So he missed all the news. But let me make this new command. If you want to join the Discord, the command will be !Discord. It is free to join, but if you want to get access to the private member Discord, we got that private members area. You do have to become a channel member, which also, you know, gives you access to other content, early access to videos. But my main priority is, you know, just building out this community, getting as many people out here as possible, because YouTube is a great platform. It is also an op. All right, just put it in there. See if it works. YouTube do be plotting on people, especially creators that look like me. So I want to make sure that if I need to reach my supporters, I'm not relying completely on YouTube for it. This game's going to be sick. I'm so looking forward to it. I really do hope they do an open beta just so I can talk about my actual experience playing the game instead of dancing around it and only talking about the stuff that they've shown, because it is exciting stuff. But you can't say anything. You just change your tune on the game, you might just have to get it. There, we got it. We got another one. We got him. Legitimately, I've seen a lot of people completely change their opinion on the game. Like, I saw some people change their opinion with Suicide Squad Insider episode 1, but a lot of people, after playing the closed alpha, said that their opinion on the game completely flipped. You can throw out all the names you want. I am not telling you who's in the game. No, I can tell you who's not in the game. Goku's not in the game. Darth Vader's not going to be a playable character for sure. All Might, he's not going to be a playable character. No Gojo, unfortunately. No Thor. Thor's not going to be playable for sure. I can guarantee you will definitely not be able to play as Frieza. 100%. Frieza and Vegeta will definitely not be playable characters in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. How often do you hang out with people on Discord? Define hanging out. I mean, we have revolving conversations. We talk a lot of stuff in the members area, especially on the weekends. Usually, we got the member hangout. You know, usually we need a good multiplayer game, so we're going to be doing this more with Suicide Squad. But when Avengers was a thing, we would all squad up, hang out in the PlayStation party chat or in the Discord, play some Avengers or play other games on the weekends, just chilling. We also got some watch parties in there. It's a good time for the members. Someone explain the Gizmo vehicle part. So Gizmo is going to be one of the vendors, and what Gizmo does is he gives you access to a vehicle. They give an example here. It's a car that's been modified with weapons and the ability to fly. So what you can do is, as they show in the gameplay, you can approach your obstacle and shoot while flying with the vehicle, and you can also jump out and send the vehicle ramming into enemies as well. So pretty cool. That's all I'm allowed to say about vehicles. I was surprised they even showed this much. But yeah, the idea for Gizmo is that you'll have vehicles that basically act like other weapons. No Darth Vader, that's a deal breaker for you, unfortunately. Is Batman not in the game? Batman is definitely in the game. He is in the trailers. Batman is confirmed to be in the game. He's in the trailers right there. There's literal artwork. That's a screenshot from a actual trailer involving Batman. Superman's in the game as well. Harley Quinn's in the game. A lot of DC characters in this game. If it ain't like Batman or Spider-Man, people do not want it. F off, just literally all the way off. True. Those are all interesting guesses, yours truly. I could say 2 of those are definitely wrong. Ready for Justice League boss fight? Same. You hear that Superman laugh that he gave at the end? I can't wait for that fight, bro. I'm gonna give Superman that work. I'm putting together the craziest Superman build, just one-shot Superman. I wonder if they have kryptonite add-ons to weapons. I'm at the craziest build. Just one-shot Superman. Wipe that smirk off his face. Batman fans on Twitter, don't just hit the bot. Bro, don't get me started on Batman fans, bro. Yeah, a lot of the superhero community, the superhero gaming community is just so annoying. Because they basically want the same game every year, but they'll attack it if you give it to them. Why is Ivy a kid? Ivy was reborn in this game. Ivy has an ability where she can leave behind a plant that can regrow her, basically allow her to reincarnate. So after she sacrificed herself, she left behind a plant sapling that grew into herself. She doesn't have her memories, but she is alive again. But yeah, like legitimately, if you see a superhero game, if a new superhero game comes out and it's not a Spider-Man clone, people are like, oh, that sucks. They should make it. Insomniac should make that. Why isn't it like Spider-Man? That sucks. We want. This sucks. Make another Spider-Man game. Insomniac literally gives you Spider-Man 2, and you got fans be like, "Oh, this sucks. I want. It's too much like Spider-Man PS4. It's DLC." Like, like it must be so frustrating to be a game dev. I can't tell you. It's annoying being a content creator and hearing people give these stupid takes about games. I can't imagine how annoying it must be if you were the one making the games to hear these absolutely brain dead takes. Like, you literally cannot win. They don't want any superhero game to be any different. They just want it to be Spider-Man or Arkham. But they will literally talk crap about Spider-Man or Arkham games for being too similar to Spider-Man or Arkham games. You can't make this up. Like, people just wanted Spider-Man. People want Spider-Man games. They just want Insomniac style Marvel games. But as soon as Insomniac gives them a Marvel game, they complain that, oh, it's too similar. What do you mean? It's too similar. Yeah, I know I said I want every game to be an Insomniac style Marvel game, but I didn't mean that. I wanted Insomniac to make a Insomniac style Marvel game. I wanted to be different. Like, you literally had people complaining that Spider-Man 2 took place in New York. Like, where else would a Spider-Man game take place? The Savage Lands? What are we talking about? It's a Spider-Man game. Why? It's a sequel to Spider-Man PS4. Why would it not be in New York? Like, what do we mean? I covered this earlier, but for those that missed it, there's a lot of people complaining about story spoilers for Suicide Squad that were circulating. Most of the we don't talk about spoilers in general, story spoilers. We don't talk about that in the chat or in the stream, but it should be noted that most of the Suicide Squad story spoilers are fake. They are not real. And the parts of it that are real are taken completely out of context. So people that are running around talking about the leaks have actually no idea how the story actually plays out. When you factor in the missing context, it's all pretty much fake. So don't pay that any attention. Avoid spoilers when you can. And just, try to enjoy the game whenever you do play it. But yeah, most of the story spoilers are fake. In general, even if they, and it should also be noted, obviously, even if they were real, that's not an excuse to overreact. Like, people are saying the wildest stuff on Twitter because they think how they think a video game is going to end. Like actually threatening the lives of the developers. Because they don't like because they saw some spoilers and they think they know how it ends. Like, it's actually crazy. Don't do that. Don't be one of those people. I know social media makes it really easy to give into the toxicity. Don't. Be a better person. Be a person that is worthy of love and respect. The dude who posted the spoilers said himself a lot of context is missing, that he wasn't expecting them to become this big, because he posted what he remembered from skimming through them. That sounds irresponsible. I mean, come on. We know how the internet works. First of all, that actually makes it worse that he understood that the context was missing. Because first of all, just don't post story spoilers. Just in general, don't do it, because you know people are going to spread them, and people are going to get spoiled whether they like it or not. So just don't do it. Just in general, as a general rule, don't share story spoilers. Just stop sharing story spoilers. Especially if you know context is missing, because you know people on social media don't even know what context means, let alone follow it. I mean, we literally lived through this with The Last of Us 2. Granted, The Last of Us 2 story ended up being trash, just like people thought it was going to be. But still, the leaks were out of context and people went absolutely crazy. So obviously, if you drop controversial story spoilers like that, people are going to overreact. It's social media. But again, that goes back to just don't post story spoilers. Like, it's not, I promise you it's not hard. Ivy sacrifices a crush. Her coming back is literally one of her powers, like Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy. Exactly. It's not even the same Ivy. That's the other thing. It's not like the exact same Ivy just woke up like, oh, actually, JK, I'm still alive. Like, yeah, she was able to come back. She was able to revive herself, but she doesn't have any of her memories. Like, she had this whole, she doesn't remember her sacrifice. She had this whole relationship with Harley that she doesn't remember. And now she's a kid. That's tough. There's no context that's going to save the garbage. Well, and that's the other thing that I mentioned earlier. There are people who literally just don't care. They think the game should be a certain way. No facts are going to move them. No stories are going to move them. They just were like, oh well, I hate the game, so therefore that's how it is. I don't care about context. I don't care about facts. The story's going to be bad. I've decided, like, okay, cool, enjoy. Other people are going to like the story. I've heard from people who actually play the game and aren't just sitting back on social media looking at trailers. I've heard from people who actually played it that they love the story from what they played. I've heard from someone who actually knows the story. I know someone who knows the entire story campaign of Suicide Squad Kill Justice League and thinks it's fantastic. So it's going to be different opinion. People who play the game, who actually play the game, are going to enjoy it. Some people aren't. Others will. It is what it is. But the point was that the leaks are fake and don't overreact. Also, don't post leaks. The ones who play, they can't talk for leaks reasons. Yeah, but they do because they're anonymous. So that's what like, if I wasn't under NDA, I could describe things about the story that I may or may not have experienced that were incredible. But you know, NDA. Can't do it. Can't stand people who try to make other people think something bad. Exactly. Like, yeah, you can. Like, that's what really is annoying. Especially the bros that who want to pull the whole, oh, I'm not allowed to have an opinion card. Those are the most like ridiculous, some of the most ridiculous and annoying people, because they only pull that card when they're not actually giving criticism, when they're just being toxic. But if you say you like the game, or disagree with them in any way about their hatred of the game, it's because you're a shill or because you're dumb. Like, if you say, oh, I'm looking forward to this game, or, oh, I thought this game was good, I like this is what I liked about the game. Oh, you're a shill. You're just getting on your knees for the corporation. But they're allowed, but if they want to call the devs lazy and say, oh, this is the worst thing ever, it's lazy, they're lazy, this is garbage, this is the worst thing ever made. And if you disagree, it's like, oh, I'm not allowed to have an opinion? Not even they're not allowed to have that opinion. It's like, oh, I disagree, I think you're wrong. Oh, I'm not allowed to have an opinion? But if you just like the game, chill. You like it? Chill. You can't like that. It sucks. But you hate it for no reason. Oh, I can't have an opinion? I'm not allowed to criticize? I thought this was America. Freedom of speech. What happened to the First Amendment? I can't have an opinion? I can't call the devs lazy? Constructive criticism isn't allowed? I can't constructively criticize the fact that the devs are lazy and I want to do bad things to them? That's not allowed anymore? In America? But you say anything positive, it's all here it is, gargling, two-hand double twisting, sucking off the corporations because he likes a video game that I don't. I didn't play the video game, but I know. I don't need to play video games to know they're bad. I don't care if you played it. I didn't, so I know more than you. like, he's the most ridiculous people. When someone's opinion is just pure hate, ignorance, and hate, they shouldn't say. I promise you, I don't care how you feel about a video game. I don't care if you don't. If people are allowed to like or not like video games. Every video game isn't for everybody, and that's perfectly okay. It's just the fact that people just can't accept that. It can't just be, oh yeah, I like it, you didn't. It has to be, no, you have to agree with me. I can't exist in this world with you not agreeing with my usually completely useless opinion about this product. No, it's not acceptable. This is the Arkham game we needed. We deserve. So if you get tested, your PlayStation. Yeah, legit be going through it on Twitter, bro. yo, I actually just saw Caboose is going through it on Twitter. I just saw Caboose got into this beef with he got a little beef with this content creator. I think he's called Nightfall or something. Apparently he used to be a big deal back in the day. Now he's like washed. But he got offended because Caboose, apparently he's like really jealous of Caboose, and he got offended when Caboose just literally pointed out the fact that it sucks that so many game devs are horribly harassed that they don't, to the point where they don't even want to work on certain games anymore, let alone work in the industry. And all he said was, yeah, that sucks. I wish people didn't harass devs like that. And apparently homie took that as a personal attack. Like, the criticism, you can't criticize anymore. Like, that's not what he said. I think it's I think it's bad that devs are getting harassed to the point where they don't want to work on franchises that they would otherwise love anymore. Oh, you say you can't criticize the game anymore? What happened to freedom of speech? like that's not what he said. Man, leave that man Caboose alone. Caboose just be out here chilling, doing this thing, and people just be coming for him for no reason. I know the feeling. People do the same thing to me for other reasons, for skin reasons, but still, that's how people actually make me sad. Anything for clout. You wish you could see the story in its entirety without anything spoiled. Unfortunately, it was. Don't worry about it. The most of the story spoilers for Suicide Squad are fake. You will be able to enjoy the story regardless of what you saw in the leaks. They're fake and out of context for the ones that aren't fake. So keep that in mind. As a mod for Caboose, so you know how you feel at the moment. Yeah, yeah, it's wild. It's wild being a content creator. Like the weirdest part about being a content creator to me is that for some reason people feel entitled to say the wildest stuff to you, like stuff that you know they would never say to your face, especially mine. But it's like, and this happens with game devs too. It's like they somehow in their minds they separate the fact that you're a person. They just think they can just say anything. Like they'll just make stuff up. Or just be mad, like for no reason. Like the amount of people who want me to die, who literally, not only have they never met me, they don't even watch my videos. That's the wildest thing. And they want me to die. That's the craziest thing that I learned after I became a content creator. Like people actually don't want me to be alive anymore, and they don't even watch my videos. just by nature of me existing on this platform and being successful, they absolutely say they hate me and want unfortunate things that happen to me. It's crazy. Mental illness is wild. You and your friend literally clicked on TikTok, tried to delete it. You both got the same spoiler. That's tough. That's what every time I go on TikTok like once a month on the desktop version, because I long since deleted that app. But I'll occasionally go on the desktop version and I never see anything like relevant. What the hell is wrong with people? I would love to know that. Absolute fatherless behavior. 100%. Not a maiden in their lives or a father figure to be found. That's the only way to explain this sort of activity. Who was attacking the caboose? Some dude was, who was he? Nightfall. I see caboose. See, Lejeune is snapping. I can't tell you how excited Lejeune is about. Like he's hype. He loves himself some weapon crafting. And his name is Nightwing. Find you someone who loves you like Lejeune loves weapon crafting. Which is fair. Like Lejeune used to play. I know he plays COD. You know, we're not all perfect, but I think he played Division. Division's really good. Yeah, as a fan of the looter, if you like looters, this is like the screenshot that you wanted to see. Let me pull that right now. They was beef with Caboose. Yeah, from what I can tell, it's very one-sided. Like Caboose is just chilling, doing his own thing. And this dude has a problem with, and this dude is just jealous of Caboose or something. It's wild. Like literally, he just came at Caboose for no reason. Yeah, if you're a fan of looter, if you're a fan of looters, or you were worried about Suicide Squad, this is the thing you wanted to see. That right there tells you Rocksteady understood the assignment. Rocksteady understands they're making a looter shooter, and this is how you gotta do it. This is what you, as a former Avengers player, we spent 3 years asking them almost for something like this. Like, it's an essential part of any type of looter but wasn't in Avengers. Didn't even consider it. Rocksteady's on top of it. Literally the only thing, after everything that I've seen, and I've seen a lot behind the scenes, the only thing I'm worried about with Suicide Squad are the servers. And that's just in general what I worry about with any multiplayer game. Because that's obviously the key. But I know regardless, because they're going to eventually add the offline mode, you're not going to have to worry about internet at all. But because I'm going to engage in the multiplayer aspect of it, that's going to be the key to its, longevity live service. As long as it works, I have no doubt this is going to be a W. What's the Penguin's drip? He's working with Argus now, he's working with Amanda Waller. He's gotta be prepared. Gotta look your best when you're trying to unalive the Justice League. But as long as like it doesn't have like crazy performance issues and like the online aspect works, you're not constantly getting disconnected or honest. As long as it just works on a technical level, this game is gonna be fire. I already know. I already know. I can't say how I know, but I know. Here's your favorite. Nice. Yeah, Penguin. They did Penguin well in this game. But if the technical stuff is good, I'm not going to probably have really many complaints at all about Suicide Squad, because from what I've heard and seen, it's exactly what I wanted, almost exactly what I wanted out of the game. And it shouldn't affect me. I should be able to play it how I want to play it, because I was looking for a really good multiplayer superhero game to fill the void left by Avengers. And as long as Suicide Squad works on a technical level, it's going to deliver that and then some. So I'm good. With that. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. Appreciate everyone once again. Thank you for the special guests who dropped in. who I won't say. It was a pleasure. I'll catch y'all for episode 3 whenever they announce that. I'll let y'all know, and we'll go live and cover that as well. That's going to be a great episode because it's going to be focused on the post-launch content, which I'm very excited to see officially. See. If you haven't already, join the Discord, !Discord, to continue the conversation, be a part of the community. Join us. We have a lot of fun over in Durag Nation. We got a lot of movement. We got a lot of momentum. Durag Nation is so good. We even hit number 19 on trending. We can't stop. Won't stop. So join the Discord, subscribe if you're new. I cover all of the superhero things. And I make sure that I put it all in a neat little package so you don't have to spend, 15, 20 minutes listening to somebody ramble about a news story about your favorite game that they probably could have told you in like 2 to 5 minutes. So that's an extra bonus. So appreciate you. I'm Sadot the Gamer, signing out.